BIS warns against unregulated metaverse, a call to prevent fragmentation and corporate control. Tim Hakki last updated February 8, 2024 at 16:37 GMT plus 22 min read, the Bank of International Settlements. The Bank of International Settlements BIS has published a report calling on regulators to future-proof themselves against the adverse effects of an unregulated metaverse on the digital economy. The 31-page report warns that future money in virtual environments run the risk of becoming fragmented and dominated by powerful private firms. To counter this threat, BIS recommends that policymakers promote more efficient, interoperable payments that can fulfill user demands. In addition, the report calls on regulators to draft frameworks that can provide clear standards on data privacy, digital ownership, and consumer protection. However, the report also strikes a skeptical tone. While it argues that a virtual reality, crypto-fueled internet may bring benefits in education, healthcare, and gaming, it claims that the last 2 years have seen overall metaverse interest wane. Centralized vs. decentralized metaverse. BIS's new report weighs up the pros and cons of a centralized vs. decentralized metaverse. It argues that a centralized metaverse where, for instance, a future Zuckerberg ultimately calls the shots on how payments work in the ecosystem would likely not be interoperable. Users could be prey top-down rent-seeking behavior through fees, argues BIS. They may also forfeit their control over their transaction data. On the other hand, a decentralized metaverse, aka the Web3 model, gives users direct control over the rules of the system, potentially through voting rights, as is widely seen in blockchains today. The report argues that these mechanisms may only provide the illusion of participation. Citing a study on Web3 game Decentraland, the report said, in almost 27% of all polls, the most influential voter essentially decided the outcome, which was not necessarily in line with the consensus among the other voters. Whether the metaverse is centralized or decentralized, BIS believes the volatility of current cryptocurrencies make them unsuited as its native forms of payment. It proposes stablecoins as a plausible alternative, but warns that centralized issuers like Tether or Circle could act as a kind of dominant bank, which would ultimately not be good for users if that bank were to fail. BIS on crypto. BIS is an international financial institution that helps to coordinate monetary policy across 63 leading central banks. In a report on crypto last year, the organization called crypto's wider ecosystem fragmented and characterized by congestion and high fees. The report also stated BIS's concerns that crypto and DeFi often feature substantial de facto centralization and that decentralized finance amplifies known risks in the traditional financial world. These observations followed on from its annual economic report 2022, which said that crypto's structural flaws make it unsuitable as the basis for a monetary system. However, the organization touted central bank digital currencies CBDCs as an indicator of blockchain's future role in a potential monetary system since, surprise, surprise, central bank money offers a sounder basis for innovation. To that end, BIS announced a pilot CBDC project dubbed Orem a few months after its 2022 report. Project Orem began exploring the privacy of CBDC payments in January this year. Adjacent to the Basel-based Bank of International Settlements is the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. G10 central bank governors founded the committee in 1974 and continued to shepherd it. Last year, the committee published guidance tightening the disclosure requirements for banks exposed to crypto. Follow us on Google News.